Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Chris here, aka Big Will, and today is just a quick video. We have finally had the release date come through for FM24. We're going to be getting it released on the 6th of November, and as you can see with the image that's in the background here, there is a number of bits and pieces that are going to be coming through in the meantime. It's going to be all about the gameplay, how things are going to be set up, etc. And under normal circumstances, the beta of the game is normally released around 2 to 3 weeks before, and with it coming out in 6th of November, 2 to 3 weeks before could be in and around the week that's missing here, between the 9th of October and the 23rd, where it gives some information about console, mobile, and FM Touch there for the following couple of weeks. But there's a lot to get through in terms of the way they're going to set it up, and as you can see, week commencing 18th September is going to be the first one. They're going to release a video with an update based on the smarter transfers, squad building and finance, and also introducing intermediaries and offloading players. So I'm not entirely sure what's going to be involved with this. Obviously, the way transfers work at the moment, everything is still reasonably in depth, but it can be relatively straightforward to get things done. Um, they could be introducing agents potentially. This is all what I think, by the way. This isn't anything written in stone. This is just what I think might happen. So with smarter transfers, it could be a proper introduction of agents. Squad building, there could be a more in-depth version other than the squad planner that we have now, maybe. And it could be something that you'd end up talking about with your staff maybe. And in terms of the finance, obviously we have financial structure deals and things like that as well. But again, it could be to do with the way the clubs run, and we could have more in-depth information about incomings, outgoings, and etc. with things like that. I'm not too sure exactly what it means by introducing intermediaries and offloading players. I'm guessing that there's going to be some different information regarding when you sell players. Obviously, um, under normal circumstances, when you sell players, you just get the deal done. But in real life, you tend to hear information to do with agents and things like that as well. So I'm not entirely sure whether, obviously, the deal might get done first, but then the clubs agree fees or something. So it's something that can be thought about and maybe even processed after that. Individual player targets and interaction logic. I'm guessing this could be to do, well, like individual player targets could be to do with training even. Um, So it could be a case of how they develop their gameplay. It could also be a case of targets in terms of how many goals they score in a season, how many assists they get in a season, some things like that. Interaction logic, they're looking at improving that as well, which would be fantastic because at times I know when I've been playing, players get a bit iffy that they've not got enough playing time. Then you play them for 6 or 7 games on the bounce, but then they miss one game after that 6 or 7 games because they need resting or whatever, and then they come back and say they want to leave the club because they've not been playing enough. So there could be a little bit more in-depth um, interaction logic in relation to emotional stature within players. Maybe it could be something that links up between staff and players. So again, everything will be released weekly by the looks of it here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens as we go through it. True football motion, match authenticity, and positional play. So from that, I'm guessing that like player movements in the match engine, things like that, and the way the game's played could be very much improved. Obviously, you could be winning the league and then you play bottom of the league and then you end up losing an unbeaten run by getting absolutely battered by them. It doesn't always, it doesn't very, it very rarely happens like that. So it could be something like that that tends to get that could get sorted out. But like positional play and things like that as well. Obviously, if you've got a winger or an inside forward, for example, sometimes you see them in the middle of the pitch and there's no rhyme or reason for it. But at the same time, it could be that they're covering other positions and things like that. So that could be something that gets introduced maybe. They're looking at a set pieces refresh and coaches debut. So set pieces refresh, obviously, it'll be good to see a different way of conducting the set pieces. It'll be interesting to see how they actually go about doing that. Obviously, with the way that you set up set pieces at the moment, you pick a style, you move the players about, and that's it, you're done. But obviously, there's not a lot of coaching in relation to set pieces. You just have attack, defending, and so on and so forth. So I'm wondering if the coach's debut could be linking in with that set pieces refresh. You could actually have a set piece coach coming into the club, which I think would also be quite entertaining. And I think it might take some of the pressure off of you. So instead of you setting up the set pieces how you want it, if you bring in a coach who's rated 15, 16 at set pieces, but he likes to set things up in a particular way, perhaps the coach does that for you, if you see what I mean. So instead of you doing near post or far post, if you hire a coach that wants to do near post corners, certain style of free kicks or short corners, for example, you bring that coach in, they'll be able to set it all up for you. So that could be something that could again be quite interesting, maybe. Going on from that, more gameplay deep dives. So obviously, and the features wrap up video. So they are splitting it up a little bit. I know last year when they did this, they kind of just bunged it all together, and it took a little bit of breaking down, to be quite honest, and it was a bit of a strange one. But they do seem to have split it up a little bit now. So more gameplay deep dives. So again, we'll learn a little bit more about how we can play it and things like that. Different bits and pieces that are going to come into the game in relation to what could be also taken out of the game. We're not entirely sure what's going to happen with that. In terms of the features wrap-up video, obviously, it'll be all the extra features. It'll be to do with licensing and things like that, I would have said. As far as I'm aware, where the Premier League's concerned, the official licensed teams, again, are going to be Brighton and Manchester City. But in the initial trailer that has been shown, there's also a lot of Bundesliga clubs in there, which again, they had some licensing last year. But also Vincent Kompany was involved in it, and obviously he's manager of Burnley at the moment, so I don't know if that's a third Premier League club maybe that's going to be involved in it. But again, it's something we'll just have to wait and see for. Quality of life upgrades, I'm not entirely sure what to expect of that really. It's just going to be one of them things that when it comes, we'll understand it more. And again, like I said before, there is a week in amongst that is missing. So it could be that the beta is released between those next two parts there toward in the start of October. But again, I'm not entirely sure. It does tend to be 2 or 3 weeks in advance, but it'll certainly be interesting to see how things go with it. I'm really looking forward to it personally. There's also a feature that's being released that you can bring forward your saves from FM23 and play them in FM24. So there is a back play, um, like backup type thing that you can do. I can't think of the correct term, I'm sorry. Um, and it's going to be the same for FM25 as well. So you're able to continue playing your saves from the from the previous game in the new one. So that is a really good feature that I think is going to come in, because it does mean that obviously if you're partway through a save but the new game comes out, you want to play the new game but you don't want to lose a save, you've got to give or take one or the other. Now you don't have to do that. You can just carry it on and really push through with it. And I think, to be quite honest, it is going to be a really good thing for Football Manager in general. In terms of the way the game is going to be set up, this is going to be the last of the Football Manager kind, as far as I'm aware. FM25 is going to get a complete revamp. They're going to completely overhaul it, as far as I'm aware. And FM24, while it's going to show one or two little features that are going to come in FM25, there's going to be a lot more to come as the game develops over the next couple of years. FM24, from what I'm led to believe, is going to be an improvement on FM23. There is going to be somewhat of the same style of gaming play, but at the same time they are trying to improve it to be the best of the franchise that we've seen so far before they have that complete overhaul next year. I'm not going to do any updates, I don't think, until probably if we see anything to do with any of these bits and pieces. I know the videos are going to get released on YouTube and things like that, so when I get a chance to catch up on them, I will potentially do videos on it. Other than that, I might just leave it as it is, and I'll let you guys keep an eye on it. As you can see, we commence in 18th September. That is the first big one for SMAD's transfer, squad building and finance. If there's any major changes or anything, I will do another video about it, and it will be quite interesting to see how we do get any type of developments within the game, and it'll be interesting to see how we go about using them as well. So obviously, if you guys want me to carry on doing videos like this, feel free to drop a comment in there. I will quite happily keep you all updated as I see the updates myself. Um, if you're not too fussed, then again, just drop a comment, just let me know, and obviously everything will continue in the meantime. Um, in terms of the series at the moment, the main road expedition is going to continue until we get to the beta, and then things will start moving over, and I will start a completely refreshed save anyway for FM24. I'm not going to carry on with this save after that. So if you guys have any ideas, please again feel free to drop a comment, like, subscribe. I'm willing to give anything a shot, and fingers crossed we can continue developing the channel the way it's going. And if I don't hear too many responses, I'll leave this and just let it lie for the time being. But if you guys want to see more about these, if I have a gander at some of the videos, then I'm more than happy to release updates. So until then, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like, subscribe to the channel. It's all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.